If you ever dream about a cat, the meaning might surprise you because it might not be about the cat at all. Here's what cats commonly represent in dreams: independence and self reliance. And this is actually the personal dream that I'm going to share with you guys today. I believe the cat in my dream is probably pointing towards a sense of independence. And we're going to dive into that here in just a minute. It can also mean hidden instincts and intuition. When you think about a cat, and that's what dream language is, you just look at the symbol and you think about what does it really mean to you. Cats have an intuition, like a sixth sense. They're pretty freaking smart. It can also mean emotional autonomy because when I think of a cat, and I don't have cats, I have a dog, but when I think of a cat, I think of they don't need you. They might decide they want you. You might be privileged to get their attention, but they don't need you. So they have this emotional autonomy to them. This one is important. They can represent like a subtle influence in your life. And that can be an influence from someone else. That can be an influence from maybe an environment. That can be a spiritual influence. And cats, I would say maybe more often than not, actually represent that kind of subtle influence. I love this one. They can represent something that's affectionate, but not fully surrendered. And generally, remember, this is going to be about you and not another person. And then very simply, it can represent a part of you that moves more privately or more personally because, that's the quiet nature of a cat can be what's being represented. It all depends on the rest of the symbols and the feelings in the dreams. But those are some common ways that you can begin to interpret when a cat shows up in your dreams. And cats really differ from dogs in a very powerful way because cats choose connection, whereas dogs tend to need it. And so you can look at those differences in the dream language and the story playing out in your dream when it's a dog versus a cat. So the key point to pay attention to with cats, no matter what their symbol ends up meaning in your dream, is that they don't follow. Cats, they choose, they decide. And that's why they're a very powerful part of your dream when they show up and you want to pay attention. Okay, in just a moment, I'm going to share with you a light cat dream that I had probably in the last month. Yeah, it was about just a little over a month ago. I had this cat dream. But before we do that, my name's Nicole, and I believe that dreams are decoding your future. I do dream interpretation every day. I'm doing it for myself, and I'm doing it for other people. And I am passionate about helping you learn how to decode your own dreams in order to decode your future. So if you like this conversation, please hit the like button and subscribe so you know when new videos come out, and it tells the algorithm that people like you like content like this. So my dream came probably around the end of January, and here's the basic structure of the dream. And there's a few, we're going to concentrate on the cat, but there's a few key symbols in there that really stand out to me. And because this dream is so fresh and new in my life, it's still something I'm ruminating on. It's still something I am allowing to impact decisions I make. Let's dig in. In the dream, the scene opens up. I am at my front door, inside the house, not outside the door, or outside the house, excuse me. Now, this is critical because I don't have dreams in my normal house. Like, I have dreams about houses that I don't recognize. In the dream, I might recognize it, but when I wake up, I don't recognize it. When I have a dream that's in my real physical house right now, that's important to pay attention to because it means it's something for today. It's something to decipher, pay attention to, and allow it to impact me right now, not 2 months or 2 years or 4 years in the future. Does that make sense? Because it's right now grounded in my house. Okay. Now, in the dream, I see something. There's like right at my entrance, right? Literally, my door hits my stairs. So right there, I'm like standing at the stairs, which is interesting. So I'm standing at the stairs, and right next to me is this blanket or jacket. And still to this day, I don't know what it was, but something starts moving in it. So I pull up that blanket or jacket, whatever it is, and it's a cat. And at first, I'm kind of startled by it. And then I start looking at it, and I think, Well, it's kind of pretty and it's kind of clean. And I think maybe since it's so clean and it looks attractive, maybe I'll keep this cat. This is literally what I start thinking right away. But then I look closer at it and I notice that on top of its head, it's like matted up there. And I think, oh no, this is a stray cat. That means that this cat is going to carry fleas. And this is an actual real feeling I have because I have always had dogs and not cats. I have found that stray cats somehow transmit their fleas to my dogs. So I'm really cautious about stray cats. And that's the feelings that I felt in the dream like, "Oh no, this is a stray. That head shows me and I'm going to get it out of the house before it gets fleas on my dog." Okay. So I open the door and I start shoving it outside. And what is outside my door? It is the exact same cat, but older and slightly bigger. And it is like waiting at my door. And I think, oh, yeah, you belong together. So I shuffle that cat out. And here's how the dream ends. And this is still a mystery to me. The dream ends where I notice that both the older cat and the younger cat that I'm shoving out of my house have this aqua blue collar on. That's interesting because I'm thinking it's a stray. I'm thinking they're both strays and they're going to cause this flea infestation in my dog and in my house. But that aqua collar, it's pretty interesting to me, and I'm still not sure what it means. So put an answer in the comments if you think you know what this aqua collar means. But right now, we're going to break down the meaning I have gained from this dream I had in January. For me, I believe that this little cat I have found inside my house is a spirit of independence. And I'm going to walk you through why in my life circumstance. First, it's hidden. Notice that is under the blanket. I have to pull up the blanket in order to discover that it's even there. So I was unaware it was in my house to begin with. So recognize that this is like inside me right now. I was unaware that this spirit of independence was inside me right now. And then look at the second. First, I think maybe this is a good thing. And that's logical, right? I'm a new widow. I have 3 boys. I have a lot of responsibility. So this sense of independence to a certain extent is good, and it's what keeps me moving forward and taking care of my boys and making life happen in this new world, okay? However, what the dream is warning since I didn't know it was there is that perhaps this spirit of independence, this one that I didn't recognize was inside of me, is not good. At first, I think it's good, but this is actually not good for me. And perhaps for those in my life that are friendly and comfortable to have in my life, like a dog, like man's best friend, right? So it is going to impact man's best friend. So I shove it out the door. Now the next part is that the older version and the bigger version of this same spirit of independence is literally standing outside my house, but right at the door. Think of the metaphor there. You're thinking like, so, right at the entrance, right at the door, like it's waiting to get in. It's waiting to come in on me. So I notice a small version of the unhealthy. I thought it was healthy at first. It's not healthy. I push it out of myself. I remove it from my internal world. Yet that allows me to now see that an even older version of that is waiting at the door. And if I let it in, it can take over. Does that make sense? I have to not only push out what I have found inside of me that is not healthy, I need to make sure that it stays out. The older version of it, none of it makes its way back in because it was waiting at the door to come in. Okay. Now, perhaps this aqua identity, if you think of when a cat or a dog has a collar on, you think, oh, they have an owner, there's an identity there. And there was a common identity between these two. They were clearly related. They were the same color, same type. So although I don't have it 100% figured out, I got a general idea that I needed to remove what was slowly forming and hidden inside and make sure the whole thing, which is related to each other, stays out of my house or stays out of my emotional bandwidth, or that's not the right word, stays out of what I receive or feed or care for inside. So, how I've taken this dream and how you can take it, maybe if you see a similar cat in your dream, is that being independent and strong and capable is good. But having a spirit of independence can cause personal issues around you. It can cause you to keep other people, other friends at a distance. And the dream is warning me that because of the circumstances I've walked out this year, because it's been a very difficult year, there is a risk, a hidden risk inside to create such a stronghold of a spirit of independence that I actually push relationships away. That is what I got out of it. That is so powerful to me. That is why I'm still ruminating on it. And I'm sharing it with you today because cats show up a lot in dreams. They show up in my best friend's dream a lot because she loves cats. She's like the cat lady. She loves them. So they tend to have a different meaning for her. But for a lot of people, when a cat shows up in your dream, it's indicating something inside, some kind of a spirit of independence inside. And it's trying to warn you to not allow it to take over, not feed it, not grow it to a point that you keep, at least in my situation, that you keep others at a distance, that you keep others at arm's length. Does that make sense? So here's some ways that you can break down what does the cat mean in your dream. You want to notice its behavior. Is it friendly? Is it being avoidant? Is it being aggressive? And then, of course, you always want to go back to the feelings. How do you feel about the cat? You see that I felt at first that maybe I liked this cat. Maybe it was a good, clean thing to have in my home. But then the feelings changed. I saw something different on the cat and I realized it is not clean or good. So things that you can ask about the cat: was I drawn to it? Was I guarded around it? Like at first I was drawn to mine and then I became guarded. Do I feel responsible for this cat? Those feelings never entered this dream for me. I never felt responsible. As soon as I became guarded towards this cat, I shoved it out of my house. I didn't care what it did. Here's the important part. Whatever feelings you have about this cat or are generally going to be related to something happening inside of you. Dreams they tend to reveal tendencies early before they become patterns. And this is what that dream was doing for me. It was unearthing or discovering something for me early in my dream life so that spirit of independence that was maybe going too far did not take root or pattern, didn't create a pattern in my life. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for how dreams have helped directed me and keep my emotional state in such a healthy place because I pay attention to these dreams, because I steward them, because I take the time to ponder them, understand what the symbols and the feelings mean to my situation right then and there in which I'm having that dream or the months following that dream. And it has literally changed my life. And I know it can change your life too. So the next time that you have a cat dream, don't just dismiss it as it's you want to buy a cat or you love the cats that already live in your house, but begin to look at the feelings and the symbols around it and see if it just might be pointing to something inside you that needs to change. If you made it all the way through to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. I love talking about dreams and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit the subscribe button because this channel is only here because of you. And if you want to dive deeper into your own dreams, I have a free community for that. See the link below.